A few years ago, I met a strange player in matchmaking. His name was Xxingsy. He played Orochi and was clearly a very skilled fighter. So I got to talk with him, but was surprised when he told me he was from China. I never heard of any Asian players before and thought the game was only played in Europe and America. But he insisted that the Asian community is large and has many good players in it. After that game, I've not heard of him again, and it remained a mystery to me for a long time. Until I decided to explore deeper and I found out that For Honor has many large but hidden communities all around the world. Thus, I now present to you every community in For Honor.
Alright, so like me and Winston Churchill walking into a bar, right? And like, oh shit, wait.
Hold on.
Howdy, fellas. Whoa.
Hey,
Don't touch me.
Spanish,
Just passing through, guys.
Spanish? Oh shit, wait.
Not passing through a drip like that.
I'm just passing through. I don't want any problems with you guys.
Senorita.
You're gonna
Said
get
I
a damn
don't
problem.
want any
You're gonna get a damn problem.
I'm just trying to pass through. I said back up! And stay there.
Yo, I'm Yileos, the EH player with the best 4v4 team Mexican, and I played this game in like 4 years. I won the one into the fray and I have second place in so much other force tournament and the Songers tournament. Garestan now I'm fighting by this and the other guys. 1 month ago, this community created a tournament once, sometimes create a force tournament, but these guys don't like the including other countries in this tournament. Generally just play this tournament just Mexicans, and the Mexicans have the beef and controversies entire. Have so much clans Mexican like BKP, EH, the Overlord. The community Mexican players stay on Facebook, Facebook group, WhatsApp group. The best Mexican players stay on Discord essentially, and when you queue people in matchmaking and you lose, the people sometimes talk beef or talking shit, and obviously you're gonna respond with this moment start the beef. Right now I don't care honestly, but like 1 or 2 years ago I screenshot. Honestly 1-2 years ago I am also toxic for this aspect, but right now I don't care. I don't screenshot when every people is different in the world, and with the people in one country is the same. How one guys are toxic, one guys are chill, and others sometimes tell you what he needs for play better. The Mexicans people like so much 1v1 duels. So much presentation of the people playing for now in Mexico is duelist. These people is good in this mode, but everything don't say play in other mode like a 2, like a 4. Don't have idea for the beats and or some shit. In my country is so hard get so much money, and the people don't have a chance for get one Xbox Series X, one PC, one monitor for this. It's so hard for the much people get a good loadout for play for Honor.
A galera do Brasil não é competitiva. Quer dizer, eles são competitivos, mas eles não sabem como funciona o For Honor de verdade. Essa é a verdade. Então, eu sou tipo o que traz essas informações. Cara, vou falar que a comunidade cresceu bastante. Eu vi bastante gente... Às vezes eu vejo muita gente diferente no jogo, mas sempre foi uma comunidade pequena. Tipo, você sempre vai achar os mesmos jogadores nas partidas. É muito normal isso no Brasil. Tanto o brasileiro, tanto o argentino, porque os servidores são juntos, né? É uma coisa legal você achar as mesmas pessoas, mas também é uma coisa meio chata, né? Que às vezes você quer encontrar players novos e existe aquela questão de o player já te conhecer e ele quita da partida. Eles fizeram um torneio com presencial, foi mó legal esse torneio. Eu nem era introduzido no competitivo do For Honor ainda, eu era um player mais casual, tava aprendendo a jogar. Cara, eu acredito que aqui tem muitos jogadores bons que jogam bem. Tem o que agora ativamente, que são fenomenais. Tem o Teus, que é muito bom em domínio, 2v2, o Zela, o MDM, o Legends, que joga 1v1, já jogou várias vezes na gringa, os caras já até elogiou ele. A gente faz até as screenzinhas, né, as screens pra gente jogar, fazer uma coisa mais séria. E eu acredito que daria uma boa briga entre os jogadores do Brasil contra o da Europa. Eu acredito que os players da Europa e da América do Norte ainda são um pouco superiores em questão de habilidade, porque eles também estão mais habituados a jogar o competitivo. Mas não são muitos clãs, sabe? Os que são fixos assim mesmo é o Corujinha, que eu lembro que é desde o começo, o Black Pika e o Lost Hunters, eles estão bastante tempo, esses três aí. Tem o Nubringer, que era absurdo, era o Nubringer e o Teto, esses dois pra mim, eles eram os reis da Argentina, eu tinha medo de enfrentar esses caras. Galera muito de boa, tranquila. Eles sempre gostam, porque eu faço vídeo ensinando, né, mostrando como eu jogo, e ainda faço um vídeo descontraído, tipo, acontecendo coisas engraçadas, eu dando rage, eu zoando o cara, entendeu? Então é uma coisa legal de assistir, entendeu? É um conteúdo tranquilo.
So the For Honor North American clan lore goes kind of deep. It's kind of like the story mode of For Honor, but it's actually cool. Lots of clans, communities trying to make something out of For Honor back in 2017 and 2018. Call of Duty clan surprisingly came over and tried to do something with it. The biggest clan at the time was Darth, LOF, and Holy. There was a lot of communities trying to label themselves as clans, but they lacked the GT requirements, they lacked the organization. The Kingdom of Ashfeld was a community I almost joined back in 2018, early 2019. I tried looking for a good clan, none of them really stuck, but finally I saw Holy and finally decided, sure, I'll join these guys, see how it goes. We played a lot of For Honor, hosted a lot of tournaments, hosted a lot of the events and stuff. We had a lot of activity, had a lot of traffic, and we did cash prizes many times. We did like a $400 cash prize tournament at some point in 2020. After the years went by, Holy maintained its momentum, at least in North America, right? We really just used the Discord, Twitch, other social media apps to keep in contact, organize events and tournaments, games throughout the years. The fact that a lot of us played competitive also helped with a lot of members staying. I would have to say LOF, Exiled, and Darth, they had like about 30, maybe 40 members max at their highest point at one time in For Honor. In Holy, we had 87. We didn't start losing members until like 2024 when it was like clear that For Honor was just, Exiled still walks around a little bit. Jarl isn't really a thing anymore. And LOF eventually got disbanded from internal issues. Darth was kind of the same way, not really from a leadership perspective, but more like an activity. A lot of people just kind of start branching away from For Honor. Holy right now in 2025, we still have about 50 plus members, and a lot of them do still play For Honor, including myself. We got Holy Jamma, which is top 5 Shigoki on Xbox. Holy Ghost, which is a really good Grandmaster player. I'm number 1 for Warden, obviously, and we got a couple other people that got really high on Grandmaster leaderboard. Holy Chad got, I think it was top 5 Warden in Australia, which was impressive. Holy Elite was also number 7 on Xbox for Warden. Fire Priest got up there for Black Prior. We got really sweaty on For Honor, The lore in North American clans does go deeper. Like, I can go into, events, the beefs along the way, the problems that we had, but that's more the general highlight of what made us stay and what ultimately caused us all to leave. It's just the lack of content, lack of activity and care from the devs. But during the first 3-4 years of the game, it was popping.
Stop! Answer me these questions 3. At the other side of the bridge, you will see. What is your name?
Garestanlover.
What is your favorite hero?
Shigoki.
What is one of Gladiator's tier 4s?
It does more damage, I don't know.
Roar of the Crowd.
Roar of the Crowd, yep.
Okay, you can go. What is your name?
Ice Straw Baby.
What is your favorite hero?
Nervous.
What weapon does Orochi use?
Orochi uses a sword.
Good enough, you can go through. What is your name?
Mr. X.
What is your favorite hero?
Centurion.
What is the name of his leaping heavy?
Is he?
Evil Salad.
You're right, you can go through.
Yeah.
What is your name?
Mestizo Macho.
What is your favorite hero?
Warmonger, but specifically when she's not wearing shoes.
How much revenge does Pirate's Pistol Blast deal?
30. Oh shit.
The English community, due to its size, is rather fractured. It doesn't have one singular unifying Discord server or community to rally behind. England had quite a few players who kind of stood above the rest. Those might be Bean and Rankry in the 1v1s, and Clutchmeister in the 4v4s has always been a dominant figure. In fighting games, there's usually a big skill gap between EU and North America, but due to For Honor's cultural popularity within England and Europe as a whole, it's a lot more of a even skill gap between the two regions. Honestly, the Brits they piss me off. Who are these Brits? I've got kind of a North American attitude when it comes to playing a game and improving, but the Brits, we're humble by nature unless you're Clutchmeister. Americans get stoned when they play For Honor. Meanwhile, Brits like to have a drink or two when they're playing matchmaking. I don't know, I feel like it's shared alcoholism. I would say that's a defining feature of Britain as a people and in-game as well. If you have a British friend, they're probably gonna drink and you might go out to a pub or something. I mean, some people get a little bit carried away with the drinking, but I'm all for it. I'm actually in the pub industry myself, you know. We profit off it. It's good for business. But yeah. Okay, so kind of part of our culture in England is to insult each other, and we insult our friends. So we get quite good at insulting other people, and then we just get pissed off, man. Fuck that biscuit. You know what I mean? Obviously, the most important person in terms of the English scene for content creators and YouTube and Twitch especially would be Clutchmeister. Clutchmeister is the biggest English For Honor YouTuber. And Clutchmeister, he's been the face of For Honor for a while. He's synonymous with the try-hard, toxic, sort of sweaty mentality that For Honor players have. And he sort of built that reputation off of his persona he had in the early For Honor days. And he's just an entertainer through and through. And we don't say it's chips. No one has ever said it's chips. That's not a thing which people say. We don't use the North American terminology. Be your own person, if you're English. Essentially, it's forced dialect. Why are we trying to all copy each other? It's because there's a bunch of teenagers who think it's cool to say what whoever they look up to says. So one player starts saying it, and then they all latch on, and then it's the fucking circle jerk. What the fuck?
The Italian world of FH was an ecosystem isolated from the rest of the community scene. It had tournaments, practices, rules, and even game modes of its own. It was held together by a single nexus which hosted the heart of the Italian collective, the Facebook community, named Italy For Honor, that held the regulations for the custom game worlds as it serves as a database recording all the events happening within it. It was kept in check by several admins, which changed over time, and it even had its own coup d'etats and memes. And thanks to it, friendships were created, recruits were gathered, and clans were formed. Fight clubs, team-based. The single custom game mode has been the foundation of the Italian format of tournaments, which brought so much flair to clan wars but got progressively abandoned in favor of the international dominion-based ones, since this wing was nothing short of Martian to the FH comp players in the rest of the world. Kings Hero Base. This is an Italian exclusive spin-off Angelos' #1 series. Rather than using community-based feedback for picking who should be the best representative of a hero, the Italian system simply uses democratic hero mirrors with no prior requirements. It was common to make a post on the Facebook community challenging a king for then posting the screenshots as required. It prioritized who could win a hero mirror match at any given moment without any opinionated takes. Tournaments made of kings have taken place in the past, which were a mixture of dominion, skirmish and brawl matches, all combined together to make the pool of kings in order to determine who could be the king of kings. The existence of these communities being intertwined with the game so much meant that if you were an Italian guy happening to play For Honor in some way or another, you belonged to a community that made For Honor so much more than a game, both in good and bad.
The community Arab started from the game launched, but we were like small community. In that time, we have a network problem in the game, like it crash, error. Then the Ubisoft fixed the problem. I played this game since the beta actually. In that time, I was me alone. I don't have anybody. Like I'm starting to know the game, how the movement, what is this game? Like I just like it from the graphics. I have no experience what is the characters. Then I just started to watch streamers, to watch how this game supposed to play, what is the minions, what is duel. Step by step, I started to know how to play this game perfectly. Then I start to buy a PC. Then I start to create a server. I called it Dalton server. Then I start to bring the best of the best Arabs in the game, like the really good people, like how to gank in that time, how good with characters. Then we started playing together, gathering the good people, knowing the good people in this game. Step by step, the server became bigger than we thought. There's good people, competitive people joined the server. We start to acknowledge the community of the Arab about this game, how to be competitive in this game. We teach many players about what's the strong characters, what's the weak character heroes. We start to make tournaments between us, like 1v1, real brawls. Then we start to join the Ubisoft tournament. It was like me and one of my friends. Me and Sultan, we are the only Arabs who win an official tournament.
I'll start back in the day when I worked my way through the Tyranny season. I've met a lot of people. I've had a huge love for this game. With me and my cousin, actually, back in the day, to create some sort of a community when we tried to gather around in a server. Quite infamous server, actually, right now. It's called AR for Honor. Yes, I know, very original. We started to scout our Arab communities, looking right and left, and to Dominion, and to Duel, Breach, everywhere. We started even to poach them from other servers to create our own haven, which is AR for Honor. It was actually great time when we played with all of these communities. Couple of fathers, sons, daughters. We've worked our way into the fame where only 8 titans, those who are very well known back in the day, we call them the Al-Jababir al-Thamania, or the 8 titans. But afterwards, things got a bit shaky. A lot of people have fallen out of love of For Honor, and a lot of people got busy with their own lives. A lot of people who had their own situations that we've tried to move on from it. what we concluded, and with the server and all the community, is we had to move on from the game. But to have a silver lining into this, we come into a conclusion where we play For Honor relatively, not like what it used to be back when all of the heroes released. From our server, it actually created a lot of pro league scenes, like the Daltons, like the Sultans, all of those who share our love and our excitement about this game. But what actually had us uproar about the situation was the Afira backlash. The Afira backlash created what I can say a slap into the face. The new release from For Honor was upsetting to us because of the representation, the story, and the fighting style was morphed into a character that only speaks Arabic. The community was expecting more closer representation of the Order of Assassins, Al-Hashashin, or Khalid bin Walid, Antara ibn Shaddad, or the most famous historian fighter, which is Salah ad-Din Ayyubi. The Gulf wasn't happy about the image that For Honor portrays them into the world, but I cannot unmake a character, and we had to live with that character itself. Fast forward into today, we've created a safe environment where the old people are playing with the new people. We compiled new and old memories upon different servers. We try to expand into the outer communities. Most people who are in the pro scenes have won leagues, which is good. And hopefully in the future you might actually see me creating a tournament as an IRL tournament for those new players and old players as well. I hope that you stay tuned.
Я сейчас нахожусь на азиатской части региона, которая касается For Honor. Но при этом я в любой момент, если захочу, я могу играть и на Европе. И я мог играть на Европе без каких-либо проблем. И даже занял 3-е или 4-е место на самом первом Dominion Series и на отборочных этапах. Изначально, когда я начинал играть For Honor, я нашел 2 клана. Она называлась Нова и Хельвеген. И русская комьюнити в большинстве своем делилась те, кто хотел вступить в Нова и в Хельвеген. 80-70% игроков находились на сервере MobCrab. У него даже канал на ютубе есть, там, да, вот он там выпускает всякие новости по игре. Естественно, это форма общения российских игроков. Совершенно воспитывают по-разному. И там в Европе тебе говорят привет, и ты говоришь, ну там, вот, привет, там, да, друг. А в России ты можешь сказать, ну ебать, ну привет, долбоеб, ну кто ты вообще такой, да? В России ты можешь сказать так, и при этом твой друг, ну если это друг, естественно, и он понимает, что ты шутишь, он не обидится, потому что в России именно так заведено, что, ну то как бы так, немножко с грубостью общаться с людьми, я считаю. Ничего самого смешного я не видел, но я смотрел. И вот я считаю, что русское комьюнити очень неуважительно относится, если при этом оно сильное на данный момент в игре, оно очень неуважительно относится к другим игрокам в игре. В большинстве люди в России относятся к украинцам нормально, потому что, ну, я считаю, что киберспорт, он не должен касаться политики. Есть такой игрок Артур Эшкрафт, украинец. Большинство людей, которые его знают, относятся к нему абсолютно нормально, потому что вот этот человек ведет себя адекватно. То есть вот, если украинец там ведет себя адекватно, с ним и будут и там играть, и с ним будут общаться там, или там что-то ему говорить. В этом нет проблем. Но если вот этот человек будет как-то затрагивать по поводу войны, там, да, я думаю, российский игрок скажет ему, что он не прав и поругается с ним. Русская комьюнити, наверное, одно из самое токсичное во всей игре. Я вижу, насколько русская комьюнити токсичная, пусть будет это в матчмейкинге или пусть это будет на официальных турнирах, что опять же касается последнего турнира. По моему мнению, то, что делали Ликимон и Ванлар, это является токсичностью или там неуважением, хотя бы минимальному неуважению к другим игрокам. Если посмотреть на тот же Counter-Strike, ты не можешь себе позволить даже там минимальную токсичность, там, да, там, допустим, написать, ты плохо играешь, потому что если тот игрок, который это написал, будет оштрафован. А в For Honor это так не работает. В For Honor ты можешь делать все, что хочешь, в большинстве своем. То есть я считаю, что российская комьюнити на данный момент самая токсичная, ну то есть самая недружелюбная в игре For Honor.
At first we emoted. Before I approached it, I missed my bash, his heavy's devoted. He read all my hits, he knew how to fight, his heavy commits, yet still blocks my light. He opens up China, and speaks Japanese too, unites Asian fighters and the whole world through. My fight is now over, as his bash extends. This was an hour, and his name was SN.
Let me say in general, Asia players don't spam quick chat that much. I played on EU and NA servers, and then people are spamming the quick chat, and then they're emo spamming everyone. For Chinese players, if you didn't do anything wrong, they won't emo spam you. So if you didn't do anything wrong, or if you're not significantly better than them, you will most likely get blacklisted, and then your names are going to be on the group chat, and then people are going to snipe you, and then they're going to emo spam you. Toxic behavior will also get your name posted on the Chinese community. Some might actually, if they are to be your teammate, they will actually leave the game immediately. How we see it is a lack of self-control. You're telling everybody you're fuming right now. They don't do that like for a reason, not just being polite, but like you're showing I'm super mad right now. And then they don't like showing this side to the ones that hate. So there's like a culture thing. I'm going to use the few amounts of the videos on Bilibili, how many people are actively watching For Honor contents. The famous content creators of For Honor gets around 20,000 views per video. If we're talking about active Chinese players on the game right now, there will be 10,000 at least. There are a bunch of players on China that are insanely skilled. I think they are on par with some of the top levels players on EU and NA. I've spectated tournaments just recently that held in Guangzhou, offline tournaments in China. They have cosplayers, participants can play, and then they can have a trial, like a gameplay of the new hero, but the main event is the tournament. AKA Morning eventually won the tourney. That basically sealed his place as the best player in China. About 90% of stacks that knows how to gank is from China. Many of those Chinese players use VPN to play matches in EU and NA. So if you see someone is with 80 ping, they're probably from China too. They started from a Discord server, the Alliance of Sheep and Wolf in English. They're sharing heroes information, how to deal with one hero or another, always asking questions or answering. And then players that want to play with others, if they find someone, they like to hang out with, they will move out of the server. They will make another one. So there are many small servers of the Japanese players. So yeah, basically that's how they started. They do take a certain degree of pride in the samurai faction because most of the Japanese players I know, they are in the samurai faction. And I remember one comment saying that For Honor is the last good game Ubisoft have ever made. There's one thing about the Japanese gaming communities is that they don't get political. So they don't talk about like, oh, the Chinese is good or bad, but they will certainly talk about skillful players. Some of them asked me about, do you know this guy? Are they from China? And then I told them, yeah. And then they would say, oh, he played very well. He plays so good. Only talk about skills. They don't talk about politics. Most of the Japanese players are playing the 1v1s, and even they play Dominion, they don't care much about rotations or ganks or stuff like that. They just do their stuff. And also they basically never emotes or chat spam. I think the most interesting part of the Japanese community is the number of female players. There are a bunch of female players that plays For Honor and also streams on YouTube. So I think that is a very interesting phenomenon. The Japanese players are not toxic at all. If we're talking about a scale to 1 to 10, I would say 0.5. They don't emo spam, they don't quick chat spam, they just fight in silence, and then after the game ends, they leave. It's just that. But if you're being respectful, like you're doing respectful emotes or executions, some of them might actually go good fights and thanks, but in a real manner, like they mean it. You can feel that they mean it, like the thanks and the good fight. And sometimes if they interrupt you or they fed revenge, they will most likely use the sorry on a quick chat. Oh, by the way, the naming of the new hero has sparked many. It sounds very lame in Chinese.
Yo, better.
Taiwan player community is a weird situation because when the game is launched, our connection is pretty bad. Because of that reason, at the beginning of this game area in Taiwan, it's pretty hard to find someone else that is actually connecting out of Taiwan because the connection is so bad that once the player actually connected with someone from Indonesia or Korea, will be having really high ping and you will starting to see a lot of people teleporting everywhere. You couldn't find a lot of people who come from different countries to play with. In Taiwan, we have a gaming website called Bahamut, and we have a Discord server that want to gather as many For Honor players as we can. So it's not we don't want to play with other countries, it's just we didn't have a chance. There's one of my friend, Eugene. He often play with a lot of streamers like Havo or Nova King. He's one of the standout one who like to contact with other countries' player and play with them. But he still have a lot of time spending on the Taiwan server we call 快乐战魂. There's a lot of political issue between China and Taiwan, but most of us don't actually care about which country you come. As long as you can just enjoy the game and play with each other, we don't really care about that. We don't do racist stuff. People are often stressed out in their normal life. Sometimes people will starting to call each other like, if you're so trash about this game, then you should quit or something like that, starting to rage bait. You will often see like 5 players in one chat room. One of them is raging, another 4 just completely silenced and taking a lot of negative emotion. I wouldn't say it happens a lot, but once it does happen, you will always make the second day, even the third day, really awkward, and people will remember it. And I lost a friend. I lost a friend because I was naive and young. He have a really bad roommate who have really bad temper. They're fighting with each other. He become more and more grumpy. He's starting another server of his own, exclusive to someone who he trusts in that server. I was one of them myself, but he's become more and more, enjoying the power. He's really, really good at his game. We even call him one of the strongest black player back in the day. He has a leadership spirit in him, and people were willing to follow him. When he say charge, when he say go to a point, zone A, zone B, even like we are only have 20 health or something like that, we will still go. We won't hesitation. So the power make people corrupt. After time, we were meeting in the real world, and I was causing some trouble. And I did get invited, but I didn't respond to him in time. And until the day where For Honor community meeting, I still showed up, and he didn't expecting me to show up. So he didn't have enough energy or time to hang out with me. I was starting to get really grumpy, which I was regretted till this day. I was starting an argument with him, and after that he moved me out of that exclusive server, and we used to watch every warrior then. back in the day. And after that argument, I'm pretty much isolated in the moment. So I was starting to calling him an empire or something like that. I still feel really sorry about this. He ended up with me getting contact with the server admin and actually got him removed from one of the admin position, and he would just left the server and never come back again. And it was a really big argument, like the whole server know what we fighting for, and it's a really big drama. Like it dragged out for almost a month. So yeah, I do hurt somebody, and I vow to say that I'm not going to repeat that ever again just to make one of my friends become one of my enemies. I'm not sure if he's gonna see this video, but I will say that Origami failed. If you're still watching this or you ever someone show you this clip, I'm still very regretful for what I did that day, but I wouldn't beg for your forgiveness or something like that. We both hurt each other, and I wouldn't say I want you to forgive me, but as long as you can live well right now, I will be okay with that.
Exploring the East Asian community in particular showed me that there's a different way to play this game. In Europe and America, we have a constant problem with toxicity and egoing. Many only fight for their pride and disregard sportsmanship. In East Asia, this is different. The best players have the smallest egos, and people stay humble and kind. Hopefully one day, America and Europe can be the same.
My name is Hellcat and I'm the best Asian player in For Honor. I'm from Indonesia and there's lots of Indonesian players that play For Honor. It's funny that the European community think we don't exist because even Ubisoft think we don't exist because if Ubisoft a tournament exclusively for Asian player, I'm sure there's gonna be lots of people joining the tournament. So it's really funny how do we communicate because most of us using our native language. For example, I use Indonesia, but mainly we all speak English to communicate. We are considered third world country where everything's expensive to us, even buying a $10 game. But we usually when we buy things we wait on sale, and whenever we want to play For Honor, it's kinda like gambling. But for me, I'm grateful. I have very good connection. I'm not disconnected very often. But I have a friend from Indonesia. His name, I'm just gonna say, his name is Monster. He keeps disconnecting over and over and over again despite using Ethernet cable because he just have really bad internet provider. So another issue is that some people that play For Honor doesn't have insane specification on his system. I remember that I have to wait 5 minutes loading on face off just to get into the game because some of the players still using hard drive and low spec laptop to play the game, and it's really bother me. The best player in Southeast Asia, you know what? I'm just gonna I'm the best player in Southeast Asia. Okay, but for real though, the funny situation I've had probably when I met my other friend while I'm playing Dominion. We were like having so much fun, like we're not even playing seriously. There's almost zero toxicity. There's no slur, there's no death threat because whenever there's a salty player, they usually insult you, not in English, in their own native language. So we don't understand what they're saying because they're saying it on their native language. And the second best is there's very rare of cheaters because finding cheaters in Southeast Asia lobby, it's like finding a rare Pokemon. Whenever there's cheater in Southeast Asia, we could just ask them, hey, this player is cheating, and we just stop playing the game and grieve the cheaters until they leave the game. I think that is the reason why Southeast Asia is the best because it's very rare cheater, almost zero toxicity, maybe some emote spam. I mean, I wouldn't say it's toxicity, it's just emote, so.
I wanna stay anonymous on this video. I'm here to talk about the bad in Southeast Asia, racism against Indians. So we hate them because there's this best player goes by the name Frost. He's an Indian, and he usually joke around that he's scamming people. Like anytime he sent it, he's a because of it, we kinda hate each other, and anytime we kill and then we met each other, we just left the match. My worst experience in Southeast Asia community is that getting confirmed again, over and over again against Garestan. It's the worst experience ever, because it's not fun, there's nothing you can do, it's broken, it's fun being the game. What I dislike the most about this community is that the way they communicate, especially the Chinese, they always speak in their language, expecting us to understand what they are saying. But there is other language exists, not this Chinese. So when you message me on chat or anything, say it in English because I don't speak your language. I also receive multiple harassment, like for example, I'm being called by Naruto in the Asian community because I had quit and leave the game at the start of the match because I don't wanna deal with them. And they know me, and I call myself the famous hated man because I play the game. And I always leave the game when I met them, just because I don't wanna deal with their gameplay. My final words for this community: when you're on business, stop harassing me, stop yapping about some dumb shit, and remove 100 kilo gang. That's all I'm saying. Goodbye.
Yeah, right.
Catch that.
Oh my.
Me and my friends would always tell each other that Oz gaming culture is very, very competitive compared to the others, and we personally think that the general population is better than general populations of others. You would beat someone in a For Honor duel like year one, and you'd get like 20 messages because they'd be fucking pissed. So it was super competitive, like turbo. People were super into that game. Our boys would always try and participate for glory, you know, all those tournaments. I remember like Flux and all that would try and compete, and yeah, the connection was always a problem, not just for them, but for other people, because obviously people skipping frames. The other problem is the number of people, so to get scrims to happen was very hard, and that's ultimately why Oz competitive players never could compete with EU or NA or any of those reasons, because we didn't have a player base to build ourselves up from. You definitely cannot test your full skill if you're on Oz Connection versus someone from NA or EU. Like, you're playing a different game at that point. There's no real way to tell. Like, we could say over and over who's good, but there's no way from anyone from the EU or NA community to verify that. It's really just back and forth. It's unless people fly over here and play, which is not going to happen. That's the only way. You really just game with New Zealanders and Australians. That's what makes it feel so isolated. Flux was awesome. Like, we loved him because he represented us so well. He was just like was always competitive, but he was never ruled by his competitiveness. Like, he always had fun, always had the laughs. Like, we had so many fond memories of Flux. He really just represents exactly what we love about the Australian gaming community. All the mateship, all the laughs, all the good times. Those days were really good. The worst and most toxic experiences, there's plenty of bullying. People literally got my Facebook and were like bullying my appearance and stuff. Like, looking back on it, it's whatever, but it was quite toxic. Like, you're being made fun of because you're good at a game. There was definitely aspects of the community that went way too far. Like, way too big egos, especially considering it was Australian Xbox. Like, even to this day, there's still quite a lot. All of the communities are over on Discord. Like, maybe there was some Facebook groups for really, really small ones. There was a main guy called Zeus, and he made a Discord server, and he kind of went around all the platforms, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and tried to figure out who all the best players were. And he invited us to this Discord in 2019 to try and, encourage scrims, encourage everyone to get better. And that was like that Discord. The first thing that comes to my mind is everybody needs to know of CP Zeus, that guy. If you know, you know. Basically, that guy was a character. He's this guy from New Zealand. He's so funny. He's from PlayStation originally. He might not have been the best, but he was just an absolute character. Anyone in the Australian community knows and watches this video, you hear the name CP Zeus and you crack a smile. For anyone that was there, like, there was definitely lots of funny drama moments. Like, even though in retrospect our community might have been very small and insignificant, like, the egos definitely still were there. there was always some drama to keep things entertaining. Anytime the toxicity wasn't too bad, it was just funny. I definitely look back on, like, For Honor was definitely a very, very important part of my life. Like, looking back on it, it's kind of funny to say that, but it was. Like, I literally met real close life friends because of this game. So even though our community was very small, we still got on every day, we still screamed, we still had a good time. And looking back, we'd all cherish like all the fun we had back then, even if the game was objectively worse. We all still had a good time.
For Honor is a much larger game than we think it is, because of its many different cultural heroes inside, manages to appeal to many people all around the globe. From that grew many communities, but unfortunately most of them are isolated and completely unknown to others. I hope this video helped you see that players exist all around the world, and maybe, just maybe, helps to ever so slightly break the isolation and unite For Honor worldwide.